This week on Keep It Simple, we're going to talk about how to create a community in 2022 from scratch. So if you're interested in starting a community, or you've been to Burning Man or Africa Burn or Rainbow, you have some vision and it requires lots of people living and sharing resources, then this is going to be a good for you to listen to. But I'm by no means an expert. I've never created a community. Let's say for a good 20 years I was a real thick hippie. I've had many friends try and create communities. I have had a dream of living and being in community with people. The most experience I have is setting up what are called rainbow gatherings, which is like an event, a 28-day event, and with a lot of preparation and packed down at the end. Experiences of people that succeeded, and I've had experience of many people that have failed. A lot of people there is a drive to buy land and to live close to the land and to grow one's own food, and I'm all for it. The dream is a like-minded people of similar values coming together with a focus of creating a connected space, a together space, an abundant space. It is not impossible. And like the data kind of says that 90% fail and 10% succeed. And the 10% that succeed, they have very, very clear values and things that bind them together, that will help them get through all of the pitfalls and circumstances that are going to arise just through the human interactions that will occur once we start going to live on land. Most people, they come with a lot of real good intention and positive vibes, and then and I think that this is really good, and one can utilize this energy very carefully. Most people are coming from a city, coming from corporate, coming with an idea, and what tends to happen is everyone puts their best cards forward because we want to come into this thing together and we want to show our best side. But once we kind of get into the environment, when like I'll say, shit gets real, then the real people come out, and this is where your foundation is going to basically start getting rocked. And if you have good values, a core belief system that you follow, whether your beliefs dance or Great Spirit or Jesus or whatever, religious values, those then are the things that can help you endure the hardships. What is the reality? The reality is living on land is not a dream. If you go and speak to any farmer that has a lot of responsibilities, like a lot of livestock, a lot of plants, a lot of resources that they're trying to manage, it is a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day job. Like at 9 o'clock at night, a water pump breaks, you fix it. You hopefully want to have people that have resources, so they have tools, or they have finances, they have some form of income, they have a real good history of being self-reliant. But the moment people have to come together and then we have to share resources, there's only one chainsaw. How do we manage that chainsaw? Who gets to use it? Who services it? How do we pay for the maintenance of it? Where does it get stored? Like, if you're prepared to go down into the nitty-gritty, then you will stand a chance. If you're prepared to do a lot of work initially to work out how will you deal with conflict, then you might survive. But if you're just going to wing it, find people that you meet at a festival, or you go and do some stuff together, and then now you feel like you've found your tribe, and you're going to go and test this whole community idea in situ, in reality, and basically I feel like you're going to come short. And so I have a solution to this problem. I'll first tell you my solution to the problem, and then I'll tell you of my own vision. For now, I have a really, really simple model that if you in 2022 are someone that's thinking about living together with others, creating an abundant space, thriving, sharing resources, and just really, I feel like creating a close sense of togetherness and real connection, then this is an easy formula for you. My idea is this, and it's simple. Before you buy a piece of land, say you find 9 other people and yourself that are on what you feel like is the same page. What you're going to need to do is do not buy a piece of land. Do not start there, okay? The first thing that you're going to do is, before you buy land, go rent a property together. Rent a 10-bedroom house if you have to, okay? Because there's a lot of those around. And if you're 10 people and you're all working or whatever, then you should be able to get a room in a house, okay, where you have your own personal space. And then you will share resources, because you will share a kitchen, you'll share bathrooms, you'll share, right? And start with that model. Live in a commune. Create a commune, yeah? And communes are easy because if person in room number 3, you don't get on, they're playing loud music, they party too much on the weekend, you can come together and say, hey, once a week you meet and we say, sorry, that doesn't work for us. Are you prepared to change? No, we're not. Okay, fine. You're going to have to go. Okay, great. It's easy to get people to come in and out because you can rent a room and take another room. After a year of people getting flushed through, because you're trying to create your value system. You like living together to see what is it you like to create while you're living together. What are you guys about? Then after a year, if the kitchen is clean and the cupboards are full and the house is spotless and the pool is operational, and you guys have got a car share going on, or you're just sharing resources and everything is working smooth, don't buy a piece of land yet. Next thing you're going to want to do is start some kind of cooperative business, something you can do together. Whether you create a little food stall or you create a small business, where you can actually start working with money together, sharing, like going into partnerships of buying assets or something like that, and then you can start working together. And I'd recommend doing this for another year as well, and perhaps in that time you can then start looking and scouting for land. So the bottom line is, keep it simple. Start off, don't try go buy land and build houses and create infrastructure and dams and unless you have a billionaire. And if there are billionaires that ever find this podcast and you need a good manager, then I'll volunteer, because I can't afford land and I'd love to be able to implement this idea. But so we'll get to my vision. But start off very, very simple. Live together in communes, share kitchens, share responsibility, share chores, work together so that the environment that you are living is running like a well-oiled machine. And once you've got the living part down, then create like a small business from that and get that thing working well, seeing where it falls, where it succeeds. And then once you are there, perhaps consider buying a piece of land and developing that piece of land into your community. Because if you do, you will already have a solid base, a solid structure. to work from. Like, I would live in something either like more like an ashram than a commune, yeah, because I really feel like the prerequisites, the foundational base in my own personal model would be no mind-altering substances. So no alcohol, no drugs, no teacher plants, no tobacco, like smoking, and no recreational use of substances. For me personally, it wouldn't be agricultural based. It wouldn't be permaculture or anything like that. I am not a gardener by nature. I'm more a tech person. So, I would create a space where my own dream would be to have land that was not too big, because big land is hard to manage and costs a lot of money annually to manage. So land that is easy to manage, and independent homesteads within, maybe up to 10. And each one has its own sewage, it has its own power, self-reliance, and we can have like a community electrical depot where we can help distribute power from. We could have things like a biodigester, but I would make things like a big communal kitchen space and a communal Wi-Fi space, like a working office space where you'd make an office on site where people could come and work together, and therefore you'd see everyone because we'd all be working in an office. Because you need to create spaces where you will meet each other every single day. And a lot of people start off with like, we'll garden every day and the gardening will be, but I've not seen it work in my experience. But it could for you. I thought I would start off with tiny houses, buy a piece of land if I could afford it, and start with one tiny house. And even my idea would be, if I didn't have a constitution, I would just let out the tiny houses to long-term tenants with a very, very strict rule set of who could come and live. And I would just slowly see if those people could live with me. Just starting small and letting it develop. I have got my own vision, and who knows, one day I might be able to implement it. But for now, my community is Emma, my partner, and my 2 dogs, and the people immediately around me, the few people that I engage with. And what I try to do is try and work on making those relationships better. So instead of trying to start fresh with people that I don't know, just start with the people that I do know and see if I can make better long-term sustainable relationships. So the basic summary of that whole thing is, if you have a dream about creating a community, start off very simple. Don't go buy land, don't go try share resources, live far away from society. Because really, like, if you try to do that, you might as well make a reality TV show instead of try create a community, because there's going to be so many things that you wouldn't be able to think about that you'll encounter, and then you will just tax the building of those relationships way too quickly. So the easier way to do it is actually to rent a house, live communally in that house, share resources, get that house rocking, start a business, get that rocking, and then go try to do the land thing. That's my opinion. I'm no expert. So if I were to meet you in the street and I heard that you were doing that, this is the exact same speech that you'd get. So that's it from this week. I feel like I like this version. It keeps to what I'm trying to do, and I hope you might have found something beneficial in it. I hope I get this out there, and I hope I find another nice topic to talk about, and we'll try again. See you soon. Bye.